Power, silence, patience. You watch, you wait, you breathe through the chaos around you, and yet no one notices. The world assumes that the quiet are weak, that the unseen are lost. They are blind, and that blindness is your weapon. They chatter, they compete, they fight for scraps, while you simply exist, calm, unwavering, and untouchable. The moment is not theirs, it is yours, because you understand something no one else dares to realize. Victory does not roar, it whispers. And sometimes, it does not even knock before it enters. If you are hearing this right now, pause, just for a second, and think about the times you stayed quiet, the times you held back, the times you waited while everyone else moved. Feel that power, that quiet storm brewing inside you. It's not about being seen, it's about being untouchable. It's about understanding the game they all think they're winning. And if this message reaches you, if you feel it in your bones, then I want you to do something. Hit that like button if you've ever felt overlooked. Subscribe if you're tired of being underestimated, and drop a comment sharing the moment when silence became your strongest move, because there are others out there who need to know they're not alone, and need to know they can claim their triumph without shouting, without fighting, without proving anything to anyone. Think about it. The world is full of noise. People screaming, struggling, desperate for attention, desperate for acknowledgement. And yet, here you are, calm, observing, calculating, moving only when the time is absolutely right. They never saw you coming because you never gave them a reason to. You played silent, and they just handed you victory. They didn't realize you were already ahead, that your patience was not a weakness, but a strategy. Every laugh they shared, every word they wasted, every misstep they made, they were paving the path for you without even knowing it. You didn't need to fight. You didn't need to prove yourself. You simply allowed them to play their part, and then, at the moment that mattered, victory was already yours. There's a lesson here, one most people will never understand. Strength is not loud. Power does not demand attention. Success is not about the rush, the chaos, the struggle that everyone else glorifies. Sometimes it's about restraint. Sometimes it's about understanding the rhythm of life, the way moments flow, the way the world unconsciously sets the stage for those who wait with precision and purpose. And you, my friend, have understood this. You have learned it through every silent hour, every unnoticed step, every moment when the world thought you were weak. But weakness is for those who don't understand the value of strategy, patience, and timing. You understood before anyone else, and because of that, they handed you victory without a fight. Victory doesn't always come with celebration. Sometimes it comes quietly, like a shadow crossing a room, unnoticed but undeniable. Sometimes it's the subtle nod of fate that you alone recognize. And the beauty of it is, you didn't have to force it. You didn't have to demand it. You simply existed. And in existing, you outmaneuvered every expectation. The ones who laughed at you, the ones who doubted you, the ones who dismissed your quiet presence, they were blind to the truth. And now, as the outcome falls in your favor, you see it. You always knew it would end this way. You always knew where it ends. That's not luck. That's vision. That's patience. That's the quiet mastery of your own destiny. Ask yourself, how many times have you let the noise around you dictate your pace? How often have you rushed to compete when your strength lay in observing? The answer is clear. You are different. You play the game on your terms. You wait while others exhaust themselves, while others fall into traps they cannot see. You hold your power close, and when the time comes, it manifests in a way so absolute, so undeniable, that everyone else is left wondering how you did it. They never even knew they were part of your plan. That is the true essence of silent mastery. That is how you always know where it ends. There is a darkness to this power, but not a cruel one. It is not born of hatred or malice. It is born of clarity, born of understanding that the world rewards the patient, the observant, the wise. To play silent is to be fearless in your invisibility. To act when no one expects it is to harness a strength that is unshakable. And in that moment, when the world realizes it has been outplayed, there is no fear, no struggle, only the quiet satisfaction of knowing you held the advantage all along. Let them underestimate you. Let them laugh, let them ignore, let them believe they are winning, because every miscalculation they make, every underestimation, every careless move, they are feeding your success. Every noise they create, every desperate effort to prove themselves, they are building the stage for your victory. And when it comes, it will not be announced with fanfare. It will be a whisper, a shadow, a certainty. You played silent, and they handed you everything without even realizing it. And that, my friend, is the power that the loud can never comprehend. They never saw it coming. Every move you made in silence, every pause, every moment of restraint, they took for weakness. They assumed because you didn't yell, because you didn't fight, because you didn't prove yourself, that you were powerless. But the truth is, power is not always loud. Power often grows in the shadows, in the quiet, where no one is looking. And this is the secret the world refuses to teach you. Patience is a weapon. Silence is a strategy, and the unnoticed are often the most unstoppable. Think about it. The people around you, rushing, shouting, desperate for attention, scrambling to be seen, scrambling to matter. They are exhausting themselves. They are running on a treadmill they can never escape. And yet, here you are, standing still, calm, collecting strength, watching, learning, knowing that the moment of reckoning will come, not because you chased it, but because you allowed it to arrive. Victory is not a battle you fight. It is a stage you step onto when the timing is perfect, when every element aligns, when every chance has been handed to you without you ever demanding it. And that is exactly what happens when you play silent. They give you the prize, and you don't even have to reach for it. Have you ever felt the thrill of realizing everyone else underestimated you? It's electric. It pulses through your veins. It whispers in your ear, reminding you that the world is blind to what it cannot understand. And you, in your quiet, unstoppable way, have learned to live there, in that space where the overlooked grow stronger. You have learned to move without needing validation, to act without seeking applause, to exist without fear of judgment. That is the kind of strength that lasts, the kind that cannot be taken, cannot be challenged, cannot be questioned. It is silent, unyielding, absolute. And here is the truth many will never admit. The quiet ones always know where it ends. They see the threads others miss. They understand the patterns that escape the loud. They feel the pulse of inevitability. And so you stand, not with arrogance, but with certainty. You do not worry about the noise, the chaos, the desperation of others. You know that all that chaos is part of the story, and that the story is already written in your favor. Every laugh they shared at your expense, every doubt they cast on your abilities, every sneer of disbelief, they were building your victory, unknowingly, unintentionally, beautifully. The beauty of this power is that it is subtle, almost invisible. People around you, caught in their own struggles, fail to recognize it. They fail to understand that restraint is stronger than aggression, that timing is stronger than force, that observation is stronger than action when action is poorly timed. And in their blindness, they give you the ultimate advantage. They hand you victory while thinking they are winning. They celebrate, they cheer, they shout, while you stand quietly in the shadow, collecting everything they could not see was yours to begin with. It is not luck. It is mastery. It is awareness. It is the kind of intelligence that cannot be taught in schools, cannot be found in books, cannot be understood by those who only see the world in noise and haste. You are a strategist of life, a quiet force, a storm that never announces itself until it has already arrived. And when that storm strikes, when the moment comes, it is absolute. No one can question it. No one can undo it. You did not need permission. You did not need recognition. You only needed patience, and that you have mastered better than anyone else. So pause for a moment and think about your own life. Think about the situations where you held back, where you stayed quiet, where you waited while others rushed. Those were not wasted moments. Those were the hours in which your strength was growing, where your strategy was forming, where the stage for your eventual triumph was being set. And now, when you claim what is rightfully yours, when victory finds you in its own time, it is sweeter than any noise could have made it. It is proof that patience, silence, and strategic thought are more powerful than desperation, speed, or loudness ever could be. And as you step into that victory, remember this: the world will never understand how you did it. They will never see the hours you spent waiting, the moments you endured without recognition, the choices you made in quiet that ensured your success. They will only see the outcome, and they will wonder how it happened, how someone so quiet, so unassuming, could end up with everything. And in that wonder, in that confusion, lies your power. They will never know what it feels like to hold the strings while pretending not to care. They will never know the thrill of watching their own actions work to your advantage. They will never understand what it means to be a master of silence. You see, life is not fair. Life is not loud. Life rewards those who wait, those who understand, those who move at the right time. And in understanding that, you hold the key to every outcome. You do not need to fight. You do not need to force. You only need to exist with clarity, to watch with patience, to act with precision. That is how you always know where it ends. That is how you step into victory without anyone realizing it was theirs to give all along. Now, imagine the look on their faces when they finally understand. The ones who doubted, who ignored, who underestimated, they will finally see the truth. But by then, it will not matter. You will have already moved forward. You will have already taken what was always meant to be yours. And in that moment, in the quiet aftermath of your triumph, there is a satisfaction that no applause could ever match. It is the quiet acknowledgement of your own power, your own intelligence, your own mastery of life. It is the understanding that victory does not require noise, only strategy. That patience is a weapon, and silence is strength. And so, whenever you doubt yourself, whenever the world tries to pull you into its chaos, remember this: you do not need to scream to be heard. You do not need to fight to win. You do not need to compete to conquer. The quiet ones always prevail. The patient ones always triumph. The unseen ones always leave a mark. They may not know it now. They may not understand it now, but they will eventually see, and when they do, it will be too late. You played silent, and they handed you victory. Look around you. Look at the world rushing past, screaming for attention, desperate for acknowledgement, hungry for applause. every person who tries to force their way forward, every person who believes that shouting, pushing, and proving themselves is the key to success. They are walking into a trap of their own making. They fail to see the truth. The real power does not announce itself. It does not fight for recognition. It does not bend to the chaos that surrounds it. It waits, it watches, it grows. And when the moment comes, it strikes without warning, claiming what it was always meant to claim. Imagine yourself in that moment, the moment when everyone around you is exhausted, frustrated, defeated by their own impatience, and you, calm, collected, and unwavering, step forward. The world does not know it yet, but victory has been yours all along. Every choice you made, every second you waited, every act of restraint, it all leads to this instant. They handed it to you without realizing it. They built the stage for your success with their own noise, their own haste, their own misjudgments. And in that quiet, powerful space, you finally see it. All this time, the path was yours. You only needed to hold still. You only needed to play silent. Think about the strength it takes to be invisible while the world moves around you in chaos. To watch while others stumble. To wait while others rush. To remain calm when everyone else is screaming for attention. That strength is not obvious. It does not appear on the surface, but it is there. In your silence, in your patience, in the way you hold yourself while the world underestimates you. And it is the kind of strength that never fades. It does not rely on temporary approval, on fleeting applause, on validation from those who do not understand. It relies on you, on your awareness, on your ability to know, even when no one else does, how this story will end. Now, consider this. How often have you rushed? How often have you felt the pressure to act, to prove, to fight? And yet, every time you held back, every time you waited, every time you allowed others to show their true nature, you were preparing. You were building. You were creating the circumstances in which victory would arrive without struggle. And that is the brilliance of playing silent. While the world is trapped in noise, you are free. Free to see the patterns, free to act with precision, free to claim what they cannot even imagine. They will never understand it. They will never understand the calm confidence of someone who knows exactly where the end is. They will never comprehend the satisfaction of seeing the chaos around you collapse while you remain untouched, unshaken, unstoppable. And yet, that is where your power lies, in the invisibility of your strategy, in the quiet inevitability of your success. You do not need to fight them. You do not need to argue with them. You do not need to shout or prove anything. They give you victory willingly, unknowingly, beautifully. And when you take it, it is more than a win. It is a testament to your mastery of patience, perception, and timing. Imagine a world where everyone learned this lesson too late, where every opponent, every skeptic, every voice of doubt had already played their part in your ascent. You watch, almost with amusement, as they realize that their own actions, rushed, reckless, desperate, only paved the way for your triumph. And you smile quietly because you knew all along. You always knew where it ends. You always knew that those who rush fall behind, that those who shout are drowned by their own noise, that those who act without understanding their environment are the ones who create the opportunity for the patient, the observant, the silent. Victory is not about who fights the hardest. Victory is not about who speaks the loudest. Victory is not about who struggles the most. Victory is about who waits. Victory is about who observes. Victory is about who understands the game, the players, the rhythm of life itself. And you, by playing silent, by embracing restraint, by trusting your own awareness, have stepped into that power. The world handed it to you without realizing it, and that, my friend, is the most powerful kind of triumph. Ask yourself, how many times have you seen someone else win because they shouted the loudest, because they pushed the hardest, because they demanded recognition? And how often have you felt invisible, overlooked, underestimated? That feeling is not weakness, it is preparation. It is the moment before mastery. It is the calm before the storm that only you control. Every hour spent waiting, every moment spent observing, every second you endured without attention, it all contributes to a final act that no one can dispute. You played silent, and they handed you victory. Now, hold that thought and expand it. Think bigger. Think beyond the small victories of today, the subtle triumphs of yesterday. Think of the life you can build if you always remember this strategy, if you always trust the power of patience, if you always embrace the quiet mastery that others cannot see. The opportunities you will claim, the paths you will walk, the triumphs that will follow you, they are all shaped by your understanding of silence, strategy, and inevitability. They are all yours to take because you understood something that the world still refuses to acknowledge. The loud never last, the reckless never prevail, the impatient never finish. Only the quiet, the patient, the aware, they inherit everything. And in this inheritance lies freedom. The freedom to move as you wish, the freedom to act without fear of judgment, the freedom to claim what others cannot even imagine. They handed it to you without a fight, without challenge, without warning. And in that gift lies the ultimate lesson. Life rewards those who understand the rhythm of events, who wait for the perfect timing, who move when all else has failed. You are that person. You always were. And now, the world will see it, not in words, not in noise, not in struggle, but in the undeniable reality of your success. Have you ever noticed how the world underestimates the quiet ones, the ones who sit back, who listen, who absorb everything before speaking a word, before making a move, before showing a trace of strength? They call it invisibility. They call it weakness. They call it nothing at all. And yet, in that nothing, there is everything. Every glance they miss, every word they overlook, every careless step they underestimate, it all builds the framework for your success. And you, standing in silence, are like a sculptor shaping your masterpiece out of the chaos around you. The world believes it is random, messy, uncontrolled, but you know better. You see the patterns, you feel the timing, you know the end long before anyone else does. Think of all the times you waited while others acted rashly, all the moments when you held your tongue while others shouted, all the times you observed quietly while the world was in motion. That is not passivity, that is preparation, that is strategy, that is patience turning into inevitability. Every person who mocked you, who doubted you, who ignored you, they unknowingly participated in your triumph. Every careless decision they made, every misstep, every rush forward, they paved the road straight to your victory. And the best part, they never even realized it. They handed it to you willingly, unknowingly, perfectly. Now, imagine this. Picture a scenario from your own life, perhaps in school, perhaps among friends, perhaps in your family. Someone doubted you, someone ignored your presence. Someone assumed they were ahead, they were in control, they were the winners. And while they rushed, while they acted impulsively, you stood still. You watched, you understood, you waited. And then, at the exact right moment, everything shifted. The outcome became clear. The path opened before you. They had built it. They had prepared it. They had unknowingly handed you everything. And in that moment, when the realization hits, when the world finally notices, it is too late. You are already beyond it. Ladies and gentlemen, they thought you were blind, didn't they? That their little jabs, their sneaky insults, their casual disregard went unnoticed. But you saw it all. Every look, every word, every sly smirk. You counted them like clockwork. Tick, 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 tick. They didn't realize that every slight, every ounce of disdain, every moment they dismissed you was building something. Not a weakness, not a defeat, but a fire. They assumed your silence was submission. They mistook your calm for fragility, your patience for passivity. They didn't know you were quietly absorbing it all, letting every ounce of disrespect fuel a storm within you. They laughed, mocked, sneered, as though you weren't capable of seeing through the cracks in their masks. But you did. You saw it, and you felt it. And oh, how you let it simmer. Because you understood something they didn't. There is power in quiet. You could have lashed out. You could have matched their venom with your own, but that would have been too easy, too predictable. And you? You aren't predictable. No, you are a masterpiece in progress. A quiet revolution waiting to be unleashed. They underestimated you because they couldn't fathom the strength it takes to remain composed in the face of such deliberate disrespect. They thought silence was weakness. They didn't realize it was strategy. Every insult, every disregard was a lesson. You studied them, learned their patterns, their fears, their vulnerabilities. You became a collector of their arrogance, an architect of your own response. They mocked you for being quiet, not realizing you were listening, observing, calculating. They thought they were playing a game with you, but they were only teaching you how to win. Oh, how foolish they were. They thought their words were cutting you down when they were actually sharpening you. Every dismissive glance, a whetstone, every backhanded compliment, a spark against steel. Every laugh at your expense, the hammer that forged your resolve. You let them think they were in control because you knew the truth. The real power lies in patience. And when the moment comes, because it will come, it won't be an outburst or a fit of rage. No, your response will be measured, precise, devastating. It won't be about revenge. It will be about redemption. You're not here to prove them wrong. You're here to prove yourself right, to show them that the quiet ones, the underestimated ones, are the most dangerous of all. Tick, tick, tick. The clock keeps turning, and they remain oblivious, wrapped in their own hubris. But you know the truth. You've always known. They fed the fire they didn't see, built the weapon they didn't understand. And when it strikes, they will realize their mistake, not because you sought their downfall, but because they gave you no choice. Let them laugh while they can. Let them whisper their insults, parade their arrogance. You don't need their approval, their validation, or their understanding. Their disrespect has become irrelevant, a faint echo against the roar of your determination. You are not the sum of their words. You are the result of your own resilience. And when you rise, it will be without their permission or their acknowledgement. You don't need them to see you coming. In fact, it's better if they don't, because the best transformations happen in silence. The most powerful victories are won without warning. So let them believe in their delusions. Let them cling to the idea that you are small, weak, invisible. They've already lost, and they don't even know it. Their disrespect, their arrogance, their ignorance. It's all weightless now, floating away as you ascend to heights they can't reach. And when you look back, It won't be with anger or regret. It will be with understanding, because every step they tried to pull you down, every word they used to break you, became the very foundation of your ascent. They never imagined you were quietly absorbing every disrespect towards you, but you were. And now, you're untouchable. So rise, unshaken. Rise, relentless. And when you do, don't bother looking for their approval. It was never worth having. Their applause would mean nothing, because it was never genuine to begin with. You've outgrown the need for their validation. You've transcended their narrow judgments and shallow measures of worth. They built their worlds on flimsy pedestals of ego. But you've been building a fortress, brick by unshakable brick, forged from every slight, every underestimation. You were never blind. You were never deaf to their murmurs, their quiet conspiracies, their cutting dismissals. You heard it all, saw it all, felt it all. They thought your silence meant you were retreating. They thought your lack of reaction was a weakness. But they didn't realize silence can be the loudest response. It's the calm before the storm, the stillness before the earthquake. They mistook your restraint for defeat, not realizing it was your greatest weapon. You see, you were never just absorbing their disrespect, you were studying it. You became a student of their malice, learning every intricacy of their insults, every nuance of their disdain. You dissected their intentions, their motives, their insecurities, because that's what they are, isn't it? Insecurities. Every word they flung at you was a reflection of their own fears, their own inadequacies. They tried to project it onto you, but instead, you turned it into fuel. The quiet ones. Oh, how dangerous we are. We don't react. We reflect. We don't crumble. We calculate. They never realized that every time they tried to push you down, they were handing you the tools to climb higher. They were the architects of their own irrelevance in your life. They gave you the lessons they didn't know you were learning, the fire they didn't realize you were igniting. And now, the time is near. Not for vengeance, not for petty retaliation, but for your rise. Because your success, your triumph, will be the loudest silence they'll ever hear. You'll walk past them, not with anger, but with indifference. You'll rise above their world of petty games and shallow victories, not because you want to spite them, but because you've always been destined for more. Tick, tick, tick. The clock continues to turn, but this time, it's in your favor. You've waited patiently, endured quietly, and now your moment is inevitable. It won't come with fireworks or grand announcements. It doesn't need to. Your rise will be steady, unstoppable, like the tide reclaiming the shore. They won't see it coming because they never thought to look. They were too busy underestimating you to notice you were surpassing them. And when you stand at the peak, don't waste time looking down at them. Their opinions, their judgments, their doubts, they've already turned to dust. Your focus is forward, always forward. Because this journey was never about them, it was always about you. It was about proving to yourself that you could endure, that you could rise, that you could become more than they ever imagined. There's a certain poetry in it, isn't there? The way their disrespect became the soil where your strength grew. The way their doubt became the wind beneath your wings. They thought they were burying you, but they didn't realize you were a seed. And now you're blooming, thriving, reaching for heights they can't even comprehend. Let them remain in their small, self-contained worlds, clutching their illusions of superiority. You've outgrown those spaces. You've outgrown the need for their acceptance. The path you're on now is one they'll never understand because it's forged from resilience they've never known. They didn't have the strength to endure what you did, and they wouldn't have survived the trials they put you through. That's the truth they'll never admit. So keep rising, relentless. Keep moving forward. Every step you take is a testament to your strength, your will, your unbreakable spirit. And with each step, their whispers grow quieter. Their relevance fades further. They become shadows in the brightness of your light, echoes in the vastness of your success. But don't hate them. Don't waste your energy on resentment or anger. Instead, thank them silently for the lessons they unintentionally gave you. They were your unknowing teachers, the architects of your growth. Without them, you might not have discovered the depths of your own strength, the breadth of your own potential. They tried to define you by their limitations, but you showed them that you are limitless. And now, as you stand at the precipice of your greatness, let their memories fade into the background. Your journey isn't about proving them wrong. It's about proving yourself right. It's about becoming everything you knew you could be, everything they never imagined you were capable of. Rise, unshaken. Rise, relentless. Rise, and let your success speak louder than any words ever could. Because in the end, it was never about them. It was always about you. Not about their petty opinions, not about their fleeting judgments, but about the silent force within you, waiting, yearning to emerge. They thought they were the protagonists in your story, but they were nothing more than background noise, static in the symphony you were composing. And now, the melody is yours to play, and it is deafening. You see, they miscalculated. They saw your quiet demeanor, your patience, your willingness to step back as weakness. They thought they were breaking you when all they were doing was tempering steel. Every insult, every disregard, every moment they overlooked you, it added another layer of fortitude to your soul. They mistook their cruelty for power and your silence for surrender. But silence isn't surrender. Silence is strategy, and you've mastered it. For too long, they reveled in their imagined superiority, believing that their words, their actions, held the power to define you. But power isn't handed over so easily. Power is claimed, earned, and wielded with purpose. And now you hold it, not in your fists, but in your heart, in your mind, in the unshakable resolve they unintentionally helped you build. They never realized you were absorbing everything, not to carry it as a burden, but to transform it into strength. The weight of their disrespect wasn't crushing you, it was training you. Every time they looked past you, every time they spoke over you, they were unknowingly teaching you how to endure, how to persist, how to rise above the noise. Now, as you step forward, you do so not for them, but for yourself. This isn't about proving a point to anyone else. This is about living up to the potential you always knew you had. It's about claiming the life you deserve, the respect you command, and the peace that comes with knowing your worth is not dictated by others. They won't understand, of course. They'll be shocked, confused, perhaps even envious. They'll wonder where this strength came from, how you managed to rise when they thought they'd buried you. But you owe them no explanations. Let their confusion linger. Let their disbelief fester. You have no time for their games anymore. Because your journey isn't about them. It never was. Their words were just noise. Their actions just distractions. The real battle was always within you, fighting the doubts they tried to plant, resisting the urge to shrink yourself to fit their narrow view. And you won that battle. Quietly, steadily, you triumphed. And now, your rise is inevitable. It's not flashy or loud. It doesn't need to be. It's the kind of rise that commands attention without asking for it. It's the kind of strength that speaks for itself, that doesn't rely on the approval of others. They'll see it, of course. They'll feel it in the way you carry yourself, in the confidence that radiates from you. They'll sense it in the way you no longer respond to their provocations, no longer seek their validation. That's the beauty of your rise. It doesn't require their acknowledgement. It exists independently of their opinions, their judgments, their attempts to define you. You've outgrown their world, their limitations, their expectations. Your path is your own now, untethered and unapologetic. They'll try to pull you back, of course. They'll try to remind you of who they thought you were, of the roles they tried to assign you. But those roles no longer fit, and their words no longer hold power. You've rewritten the narrative, reclaimed your identity, and there's no going back. Every step you take forward is a step away from the shadows they tried to keep you in. You don't need their light. You found your own, and it burns brighter than anything they could have offered. It's a light forged in the crucible of their doubt, a beacon of your resilience and determination. So rise, unshaken. Let your silence continue to speak volumes. Let your actions tell the story they never imagined you could write. And when they finally realize the truth, that you were never blind, never weak, never defeated, it won't matter. Because by then, you'll be so far ahead, so far beyond their reach, that their opinions will be nothing more than whispers on the wind. And as you stand tall, unbothered by their noise, you'll understand something profound. They were never your adversaries. They were merely obstacles, challenges that sharpened your edge. They were the resistance that made you stronger, the friction that sparked your fire. This isn't about vengeance or proving them wrong. It's about honoring the strength you discovered within yourself. It's about embracing the journey that brought you here, the pain that shaped you, the silence that empowered you. It's about standing in your truth, unapologetically, and knowing that you owe no one an explanation. So keep rising, keep moving forward. Let their doubts fade into irrelevance. Let their disrespect become a distant memory. Your path is clear now, and it leads to places they can't follow. Not because they're not capable, but because they never chose to walk with the same courage, the same integrity, the same unyielding determination. This is your story, and it's just beginning. So rise, unshaken. Rise, relentless. Rise and never look back. The same unyielding determination that carried you through the storms will now guide you into the light. This is not the climax of your journey, but the foundation for something greater. Everything you endured, every slight you absorbed, has prepared you for this moment. Not to bask in the approval of those who doubted you, but to walk a path they could never envision. This isn't about proving them wrong. It's about proving to yourself that you were always right. Think back to the moments when you questioned your worth because of their careless words or thoughtless actions. Remember the times you felt invisible, unheard, dismissed. Those moments could have broken you, but they didn't. Instead, they shaped you. They taught you resilience, patience, and the value of staying true to yourself even when the world tried to bend you. That's what they'll never understand. How you remained steadfast, how you bore their insults without letting them take root in your heart, how you faced their disregard without ever doubting your own value. They'll wonder how you turned pain into purpose, how you transformed their doubt into your drive. And while they search for answers, you'll keep moving forward, untouchable and unstoppable. You owe them nothing, not even your anger. They don't deserve your energy, your attention, or your time. Their disrespect has already served its purpose. It's propelled you to heights they'll never reach. And when they look up, searching for you in the spaces they once occupied, they'll realize you're no longer there. You've risen above, far beyond their limited view, into a realm where their opinions no longer matter. This is your time now. Your silence was never submission, it was preparation. And now that the time for silence has passed, Your actions will speak louder than any words ever could. Each step you take forward will echo with the strength of someone who refused to be broken, who refused to be defined by the small minds of others. Let them watch, let them wonder. Their confusion is irrelevant. You've outgrown the need for explanations, the need to justify your worth. You've found your voice in the quiet moments, your power in the stillness. And now, as you rise, you carry with you the lessons, the strength, and the determination that their disrespect unintentionally gifted you. Rise with grace, not malice. Rise with purpose, not spite. Let your success be your response, your triumph the answer to their doubts. But remember, this rise is not for them. It never was. This is for you, for the person you fought to become, for the dreams you've nurtured in silence, for the future that belongs to you and you alone. So rise unshaken, rise relentless, and as you move forward, don't look back. The past is a chapter you've closed, a story you've outgrown. Your focus is ahead, on the life you're building, the person you're becoming, the possibilities that await. This is your journey, your victory, your story. Own it, live it, and let the world see the power of someone who was never truly broken. Let the world see the power of someone who was never truly broken. Not because you didn't face pain, but because you embraced it. You turned it into strength, shaping yourself into someone they never thought you could be. The world doesn't need to understand the depths of what you endured. They'll feel it in your presence, in your unwavering stride, in the quiet confidence that radiates from you now. You're not here to make announcements or declarations. Your rise isn't something that needs a spotlight, because it's a force so undeniable it speaks for itself. They'll see it in the way you no longer flinch under scrutiny, no longer second-guess your worth, no longer shrink yourself to make others comfortable. You are unapologetically yourself, standing taller than you ever have, not in defiance, but in authenticity. It's not about revenge. Revenge is loud and fleeting, a desperate grasp for validation that you no longer need. What you've achieved is so much greater than that. It's peace. Peace with who you are. Peace with what you've endured. Peace with the journey that's brought you here. They could never take that away from you, no matter how hard they tried. This is the beauty of your rise. It's built on a foundation they'll never understand. They didn't see the nights you spent wrestling with doubt. They didn't hear the internal battles you fought when their words echoed in your mind. They don't know the strength it took to keep going, step after step, when giving up would have been so much easier. But you remember every moment of struggle, every decision to push forward despite the weight of it all. And that knowledge, that memory, is a part of you now, a reminder that you are unshakable. Let them wonder, let them speculate. Their confusion is the best acknowledgement you could ask for, a testament to the strength they never saw coming. And as they scramble to understand how you've risen, you'll keep moving forward, unbothered and unstoppable. Their opinions, their judgments, their petty attempts to diminish you, they've become irrelevant. You've outgrown the need for their approval because you've found something infinitely more valuable, your own belief in yourself. You don't need to explain your journey to anyone. The scars you carry, visible or not, tell the story of battles won, lessons learned, and strength gained. Those scars are not signs of weakness, but of resilience, proof that you endured what others thought would break you. Wear them with pride, not as reminders of pain, but as badges of survival. The beauty of your rise lies in its quiet power. It's not about making noise or seeking recognition. It's about living in a way that honors your growth, that reflects the strength you've gained, that proves you are more than anyone ever gave you credit for. And that's the ultimate triumph, knowing you've risen, not to please others, but to fulfill the potential you always knew you had. You see, they were never your enemies. They were merely obstacles, lessons in disguise. Their attempts to hold you back were the very forces that propelled you forward. Without their doubt, you might not have discovered your strength. Without their dismissal, you might not have found your voice. Without their underestimation, you might not have realized your worth. So thank them, not with words, but with your silence, your success, your unwavering rise. Thank them by becoming everything they said you couldn't be, not because you need their approval, but because you deserve to be your fullest self. Their role in your story is done. They were the catalyst, but you are the one who transformed. Now, it's your turn. To live boldly, to move fearlessly, to chase your dreams without hesitation. The path ahead is yours to shape, free from their shadows, their limitations, their judgments. You've broken free, and the possibilities are endless. This is your power, to turn pain into purpose, to transform doubt into drive, to rise from the ashes of their underestimation as someone stronger, wiser, and more unstoppable than ever before. Let them see it, let them feel it, let them watch as you soar beyond their reach. But don't do it for them, do it for yourself. Because this journey has always been about you. Your rise is not an end, it's a beginning. A declaration that you will no longer be confined by the narrow views of others, that you will no longer dim your light for the comfort of those who can't handle its brilliance. You are here, unshaken, relentless, and unstoppable, and the world is about to witness the power of someone who was never truly broken. In the end, their words, their doubts, their disrespect were never about you, they were about them. But your rise, that is entirely yours. So stand tall, unshaken, and let the world see what they never imagined. Rise, not for them, but for yourself, because you were always meant to.